Hello everyone, it's me, the man child. I'm doing something a little different this time. I'm doing a little post commentary action, as you can see, because I'm clearly not playing, even though it's kind of hard for you guys to tell that. But anyway, this is Monster Hunter World. I almost forgot the name for a second. And I decided to do a post commentary. I don't remember why. I just felt like doing it. But anyway, I'm gonna hunt the Jagras barrel. No, I'm gonna hunt. Well, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, playing a little Monster Hunter World, playing the beta. Super excited for the actual game. Just 4 more days as of this recording, and I'm just gonna do a couple random hunts, use several different weapons, yada yada, just to show off the game a little bit, even though I did a video on it already. But fuck it, this game is. Ugh, I love this game so much, so I'm just gonna milk the shit out of it, because this is this is definitely a game that you're gonna see a lot on this channel. New people are gonna think this is a Monster Hunter channel when I'm done playing this damn game. But anyway, as for what's on the screen, I'm gonna be using the light bow gun for this round. Pretty good. Actually, really good. That's a lie. Eh, it's a bow. Actually, in the previous Monster Hunter games, it was more of a bow than a gun. But in this one, it's way more a gun. And right now, as you saw, I use this sticky ammo. If you can see it on the bottom right screen. And when you're using an explosive type weapon, or yeah, I guess yeah, when you have something that explodes, you want to aim for the monster's face because that'll give you yeah, that'll let you stun it like you saw the monster fall over. And also when it fell over, you saw me put those little landmine things are. I don't know what they do. I haven't figured it out yet, but I think they're supposed to be like proximity mines like in GTA. I think you're supposed to lay them down as traps and let the monster walk over them and they explode. I don't know. I haven't played with it that much, but they do good damage. I know that if you can get them to hit. And again, you saw me cause some explosions on his face with the sticky ammo, made him fall over. The bow gun and the bow guns in this game are really easy to abuse monsters in. Like in the previous Monster Hunters, they were not this good. Like I couldn't walk and reload like I am right now. In previous Monster Hunters, you had to sit still to reload, and you had to sit still to shoot. It was horrible. And also in other Monster Hunters, you had you had two different types of armor. You had Blade Master armor, which is their melee weapons, swords, axes, all that. And then you had your gunner armor for bows and bow guns, obviously. And the bow gun armor sucked ass. It was like 25% weaker than Blade Master armor. But in World, they've combined the armors now, so being a gunner is way more viable, especially with the new controls. And also, all your ammo is preloaded. In the previous Monster Hunters, you had to load every single thing, every single ammo one at a time. And I used that health booster on accident. The health booster is just a free health health potion. I can't talk. That's how you know I'm excited, cause this is the most I've ever talked in this on this channel. Like I haven't shut up a single second. And you saw me just using the spread ammo. That replaced the pellet ammo, and I gotta say, it's really shitty. Like you saw me barely get any shots off with it. I'd prefer pellet or just any other ammo for that. And right now I'm gonna be using some piercing. Piercing is really good for big and fat monsters because it pierces, obviously. So you want to get like lengthwise. I think that's what I'm saying. Like how I'm doing right now is the perfect way to be using piercing shots. And it should be dying soon. and then we'll get on to another one. I edited bleh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I edit this with HitFilm. This is my first time using HitFilm to edit and publish a video. I usually use Lightworks, but the problem with Lightworks is that, well, it's fine for consoles, but if I'm playing on PC, I can only on Lightworks I can only export to 720p, which sucks. Well, it's fine on console because most games don't run at 1080p at 60 FPS anyway. But HitFilm will let me do 1080p, even though this game isn't running at 1080p. It's still nice to have that option, especially when I do PC gaming. Eh, it. I'd recommend it. You can't. Well, I can't do. It's hard for me to do fine tuning, like make sure the audio's right. It's hard for me to do that on HitFilm. Maybe I'm just a noob. Who knows? I don't remember what I'm fighting next, but I'm gonna use the Switch Axe, which is a sword and an axe combined. It's a fucking Bloodborne weapon. I love it. It's probably in my top 5 favorite weapons. I think I'm fighting the mud. I forget its name. It's like a muddy catfish. Ah, God, what is its name? Boy, I I can I can already tell just from the beta that Monster Hunter World is gonna be Game of the Year. 'Cause it's everything Monster Hunter fans have been asking for. Like it, you get this huge open world, well, kind of open world. Oh man. The only problem I have, and this is probably just because it's still a beta, is the scout flies. They make it really hard to track monsters, especially when there's multiple large monsters and you're like just starting out the quest. But it's fine. I can get used to it. I do prefer it over paintballs because I can, well, paintballs have a time limit. You'll have to reuse a paintball if you want to track a monster. But other than that, uh, if scout flies wouldn't, trying to find the word, wouldn't just select every little thing that they see, it wouldn't be a problem. But like they'll go to every item unless you're directly hunting a monster. And this is the monster. Oh, it's the I'm not even gonna try. Gyratodos. Totus. It's a muddy catfish thing. And anyway, for the Switch Axe, its base form is the axe form, and you'll switch it to the sword form like you saw me do. That sword form is a lot faster. You can get a lot more combos off, but but it has a time limit. If you look at the top left corner, under my health and under the little sword icon. Oh God, my nose, voice. You'll see a little bar, and the little greenish bluish bar goes down when you're in sword form. So you have a very limited amount of time to get off any combos you need with the sword form. But as you just saw with the sword form, you can do that huge explosion that does big sexy damage. Also, I'm using the waterproof mantle. I think that's what it's called. So that's why I'm able to run in the water. Normally, I'd be trudging in and like, oh, I can't get my ass off this water. And when there's a weird thing with the waterproof blight, the water mantle. I don't remember what it's called. Like in the description, it says it allows you to walk through muck, which is like when a monster like throws a little bunch of mud on the floor. Trying to give you a good example. Anyway, if a monster like shapes off a bunch of mud and it'll leave like a big mud splotch everywhere. And if you walk in it, you'll be stunned and can't move. But with the like that, that's a perfect example. What just happened with the mantle on? It says I should be able to walk through that, but clearly I didn't. So that's kind of weird. But whatever. I still this mantle makes this fight a lot easier because I can just chase after it instead of trudging through all this shit. This is probably shit. He's probably just swimming in his own feces. It is a monster after all. Oh boy. I named my character E103 Delta. E103 Delta off of the E103 Delta from Sonic Adventure 1. It's a little blue robot. I like blue. I like the robot. Name a character after it. Probably not going to do that in the actual game though. And I named my cat Guilty Spark. I like that name because Halo's fucking amazing. And that's a really good name. I might actually keep that name for my cat in the actual game. I like how the cat's in a little floaty when you're fighting a watery or whatever you want to call this type of beast. Nice, cute little detail. And he's just throwing up a bunch of shit, and I'm just throwing down a bunch of powder to power up. And yeah, that's something you gotta get used to in Monster Hunter. You're trying to use the items, and the monster's like, nah, fuck that, son. I'm coming in after you. It's hard to tell, but I think this Switch Axe is using either a water or ice element, which isn't. I'm pretty sure this monster is strong against, because it is a fish. But since this is low rank, so it really doesn't matter. You can, in low rank, you can use pretty much anything. You'll be fine. And right there, I don't know what that move is, like where it's just doing donuts in the water. I don't know what it does. I usually just stay away from it until it stops. I don't think it does damage. I don't know what the point of that is. Also, top left corner under the stamina bar, you have to make sure your weapon is sharp, because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 90% sure that weapon sharpness is a multiplier. So your max weapon sharpness. So sharpness. Yeah. Let me try to rephrase that. There's two reasons you need weapon sharpness. One, you need to have a sharp weapon, otherwise you'll bounce off the monster. I think that'll happen. I'm pretty sure that happened to me in this hunt a couple of times. But yeah, you want green or higher sharpness, otherwise you'll just bounce off a monster. Also, I think you do more damage the sharper the sharper your weapon is. Not sure about that. Don't quote me. And I kicked that little bug. I don't know what it did. I think I get my first mount. Yep. Mounting in this game, this was introduced back in month 4 Ultimate. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it in this game. It feels harder, but I don't know. Like, it feels like it takes longer to finish a mount in this game. But I do like how you can hop on. Yeah. I like how you can hop on several different parts of the monster. Like, you can hop on its face, you can hop on its back, you can probably hop on this one's tail. I think that's a nice little detail. And if you get knocked off, you can quickly fling back on if you've got good reflexes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this Switch Axe is a water element, and since it's a fish, that's not doing anything to it. What am I doing? Oh, I'm using paralysis knives. You can tell the monster's about to die by the way it limps. Like, see, it's limping, so that's how you know you're good to go. Did that catfish just attack the giant thing? That's funny. Ah! I love doing jump attacks. Those are super, really fun. Yeah. I'm trying to get a paralysis on it so I can finish this up. Yep, and then I'm sure this will be dead soon. Yeah, get off in there, fishy. We having catfish tonight, boys. Yeah. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking too long. I don't know how I did that. Don't actually. I don't know how I just randomly jumped on it, but it was fucking awesome. This is another good combo with the switch axe. Just flip it up and then swing it side to side. It'll drain your stamina, but it does a lot of damage and it's fun to do. I don't know why I'm carving. This is a beta. I don't get to keep this. I'm pretty sure I just leave the quest anyway, so I wouldn't keep this anyway. But in the actual game, you're gonna definitely make sure you carve because all your work is pointless if you don't carve. So carve, or there's no point in hunting any monster in this game. You'll get 3 carves unless it's a special monster, and you might get like 4 or more. Now I'm using the Charge Blade. This was introduced in 4 Ultimate. It's like the Switch Axe, except it's a sword and shield combined with the axe. Really weird how the Switch Axe is an axe that switches to a sword, but the Charge Blade is a blade that switches to an axe. Funny, I know. I think the Switch Axe was introduced in 3 Ultimate, but I don't know. 3 Ultimate is where I started, so I wouldn't know anything about previous generations. Generations. That's funny. I think I fight the Barroth. Yeah, I fight Barroth here. I do like this new tracking mechanic where you actually hunt for the monster. It kind of reminds me of Switcher, like when you're using Hunter Sense. But this is the same problem I have with Scout Flies. Like right here, there was a hot second where they weren't showing me anything. Or like right here, it's pointing to a rock. Like I don't fucking care about rocks. Why are you pointing me at a rock? And now it's not barely showing me anything. Also, I'm pretty sure these footprints are backwards because the Barroth is this way, but its footprints were going the opposite way. Again, probably something they'll fix once this is out of beta. I do like how you can pick up a bodyguard for your Palico now. I'm assuming that, well, in 3, 4, and Generations, you would get 2 Palicos or 2 other types of minions. And I'm assuming in this one, you're just gonna get your base cat, and you're probably not gonna have the option to have another cat with you. But the cats are there. I haven't even explained the cats. Cats are your support characters, basically. You'll start the game with a cat. You'll be able to level it up, give it armor, and that'll increase its abilities. Like my Palico right now has the Vigor Wasp, and that it's a free heal basically. Every now and then it'll just heal me, which is super easy to abuse. Especially since I have the health booster, so that's 2 free heals. And when you're fighting Barroth, I heard Barroth was hard for new players, which doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know. It don't make me, I'm not an elitist, but that just sounds weird to me that Barroth is hard out of all monsters. But I guess what makes him hard is that, one, his head, you can't hit his head. Like, unless you have like white sharpness, you're gonna bounce off his head. Well, this is low rank, so probably if you have blue sharpness. But anyway, if you have normal green sharpness, you're probably most likely gonna be bouncing off Barroth's head. So you'll have to go for body shots. I guess that's hard for some people, especially if you're using like a hammer or something. Also, when it likes to cover itself in mud, and when it does that, it changes what its weakness is. Like, when it doesn't have mud, I'm pretty sure it's weak to fire, and when it does have mud on it, it's weak to water. And I should probably explain the Charge Blade, because I've just done some pretty cool shit and haven't talked about it at all. So the big gimmick with the Charge Blade is that, well, you charge it. At the top right screen, you'll see those little vial things. When you do attacks or block, it charges up those files. When they're bright red, you have to charge your blade. Charge blade, get it? Yeah. And if you don't charge it, you'll just bounce off the monster repeatedly. I'm pretty sure the handler said something about that. And once you charge it, that's a good time to go into the axe mode. And that's where you go to use up the files. Or if you just want to attack with the axe, you can do that either way. Unlike the switch axe, you can go into either form whenever you want. There's no time limit or anything. Oh, my nose. Yeah. Barath is super easy to abuse because I think I got 2 paralysis off it with just the 5 knives that they give you. And once you charge it, like I'm saying, you'll want to go into the axe form. When you go to the axe form, you can you can either settle on just using the files, or you can overcharge the axe, and that's how I did that big swinging thing that did the thunder. I'm going to do it right here. So if you overcharge your switch axe, you can do this big charge that I'm about to do here. Yep. And the more vials you have when you overcharge, the longer you'll have that overcharge. And the more files you do when you do that big attack, the more damage you'll do. Pretty simple, kind of confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's really fun, really easy to use. And I just tripped in that mud like this is Brawl. Stupid Barrow. I don't know what the bodyguard Palico does. Like right now, it's using that one shield thing, but it's not doing anything with it. Oh boy. I really like this armor that I'm wearing. It kind of reminds me of Abdal from JoJo. Sono Gino. I also like this new sliding thing you do, because if you're sliding you can jump, and if you hit the monster, it'll count as a mount attempt. So you could get a mount if you slide jump and just hit a monster. And another big thing for Monster Hunter, cutting off body parts. Also, that attack I just did is what do you do when you don't overcharge the switch axe? This right here. So you could either settle for that, or you can risk the big charge. But anyway, as you saw, I cut off the Barroth's tail, and now it's got a little nub where its tail wants to be. Make sure you carve the tail when you cut it off, because you can carve it for an extra body part carve. You'll usually just get a tail or a scale, but hey, it's worth it. I don't know why I opened up my map. I know exactly where it is. But I do like that feature, how you can open up your map and tag the monster. It's pretty much like paintballing it, except not a time limit or anything. Yeah, that's the problem with trying to do a big attack, is that big risk. And funny, I never use the I almost never use the shield for the charge blade. I usually just dodge. Probably because I'm used to playing with dual blades, so I have to dodge. So I usually just forget I have a shield entirely. I do like how the charge blade shield is what becomes the axe. That's a nice little detail. Yep. Come on, Barrow. Die so we can get to the next guy. Yep. Hey. Thank you. And once you complete a quest, you'll have 30 seconds to carve the monster, or be a dumbass and don't carve it like I am. Hey, a little dung beetle. I don't know what kicking it does. I thought it was gonna like let off a gas or something, but it just stopped moving. I think I killed it. Am I giving my cat a high five? It looked like it. And if you're playing online on this screen, it'll be you'll have like a little award screen. It's like who did the most damage, who blah blah blah. Wow, that was a video. That was fast. Goodbye, everybody. I love you.